All right. You guys, we have a new shiny hunting method in the Crown Tundra, and I've been waiting patiently to make this video. I didn't want to make this video until the odds were officially out, and now we have them. So we've got a lot to talk about. Brand new shiny hunting method. This is a bananas. Let's get into it. All right, so like I said, we have a lot to talk about. And over the course of this video, I'm going to talk first and foremost, obviously, about the odds. We're going to cover that. Then we'll talk a little bit more about, the available Pokemon that you can get from this shiny hunting method, some of the ones that are shiny locked, and then we'll also cover some tips and tricks for actually hunting the legendaries that you might be specifically looking for. But first and foremost, we got to talk about the actual odds, because this is ridiculous. Some of you might have already seen, on social media now at this point, that people are claiming that the odds of finding a shiny Pokemon in a Dynamax adventure as 1 in 25. And there is a fair amount of truth to that. So let's dive into it and let's see where people are getting these numbers from. How are we getting to 1 in 25? So late last night, Michael at SiresM on Twitter tweeted out, okay, yeah, Pokemon from Dynamax Adventures are rolled to be forced shiny. Odds are exactly 1 in 300 without shiny charm, and exactly 1 in 100 with the shiny charm. Holy bananas, that's awesome. That's way better than your standard Masuda method or your murder method, so you have my attention. This uses cryptographically secure randomness, so no RNG. All shinies found this way will be stars, okay? The chance of being forced shiny on a Dynamax adventure is applied to every Pokemon you defeated, including the legendary, to be clear. Thus, the overall odds of at least one shiny in the adventure results are 4 out of 300, or approximately 1 in 75 without a shiny charm, and approximately 4 out of 100, 1 out of 25 with a shiny charm. So what we were saying here is that if you have your shiny charm, every Pokemon you encounter on a Dynamax adventure has a 1 in 100 chance of being shiny. And since you are encountering 4 Pokemon over the course of your adventure, you've got 4 chances at those 1 in 100 odds. That's how we're getting down to 1 in 25. Now, to be fair, you don't have any control over which Pokemon out of the 4 might be that 1 in 25 shiny, right? So if you're specifically hunting a legendary in the den, obviously your legendary is always going to have at best a 1 in 100 chance of being shiny. That's still amazing. But at the end of the adventure, even if your legendary is not shiny, you still have a 1 in 25 chance of one of the Pokemon within the 4 that you encountered and caught of being shiny. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, people are claiming that this might be a little bit broken, right? Those odds just sound way too good. 1 in 25 of getting a shiny on every adventure. Like, are you kidding me? Even 1 in 100 for the legendaries. Like, that's bananas. It's way even better than Masuda. But in a way, it's actually not that broken. You see, I've done a handful of these Dynamax adventures so far. I've done about, I think, 4 or 5 of them. And over the course of each one, it has taken no less than 17 minutes for me to complete a complete Dynamax adventure. Most of them carried on for about 20 minutes. One of them, the fastest, was 17 minutes because we KO'd one of the Pokemon like right on the first turn. We just absolutely blazed through it. So if you think about it, even if you were able to do 1 in every 15 minutes, which realistically you can't, that's 4 per hour. You're only encountering 4 legendaries per hour with the 1 in 100 chances of that legendary being shiny. You still have to put in a decent grind. So while the odds seem amazing, and they are truly amazing, it's still going to be quite a grind because you got to kind of keep rolling through these Dynamax adventures, and they take time. So to me, it doesn't really seem that broken, right? It's a little broken, but not completely busted. Now, the other thing that kind of keeps it from being totally over the top, ridiculously busted, is that the shininess is not determined during the actual battle. You are not going to actually see your Pokemon on screen being shiny while you are trying to defeat it. This is a very, very, very important detail. You're going to go through this entire Dynamax adventure. You're going to defeat 3 Pokemon, and then you're going to defeat the legendary, which is your 4th Pokemon. You will not know whether any of them are shiny for you until you reach the very end, the last screen on the Dynamax adventure, where it asks you if you want to keep one of the 4 Pokemon. That is where you will see whether or not you have obtained a shiny. Why is this important? It's important because Dynamax Adventures cannot be rolled like typical shiny dens were previously. You can't go get your seed, and you can't basically share a shiny legendary with the entire world. If I catch a shiny Rayquaza on a Dynamax adventure, it's mine. I can't share that and farm it to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people who come and keep rejoining my Dynamax adventure over and over and over. So that's actually that's a big deal right there. When you obtain your shiny, it is yours. We're not farming it like we were with previous den shiny hunting methods. Now, to be clear, the Crown Tundra's regular dens out in the wild area of the Crown Tundra, those can still be, you can go get your seed, and you can reset those dens and do that type of shiny hunting just like you did on the Isle of Armor or the regular wild area. That still works. But what I'm specifically talking about is the Dynamax Adventure layer where the legendaries are found. Those Pokemon, their shininess is determined at the very end for you and you only. So if I get a shiny Rayquaza from the raid, the 3 other people that did the raid with me, theirs won't necessarily be shiny. Could be if they get lucky, but it is not the exact same Pokemon, and it's not guaranteed to be shiny for everyone in that raid party. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like that aspect of the Dynamax adventure, because we're not going to be completely farming shiny legendaries until the cows come home. It actually keeps them, at least for the moment, a little bit special. Now that we've covered all that, let's actually jump over to Serebii real quick, and we are going to look through the list of available Pokemon within the Dynamax adventure, right? These are all the available Pokemon that you could potentially get shiny using this new method. Now, Serebii has an amazing list. Serebii, they do great work. Every single time a new Pokemon game comes out or whatever, this is, the DLC. I have no idea, Joe Merrick, big props. I've been using Serebii for as long as I can remember. I have no idea how you get this information out so quickly, but props to you. I will put a link in the description to this page right here. But there's a list of all the normal Pokemon that you can encounter along the way. I'm not going to go through every single one of them. You can click the link yourself if you want, just for the sake of the length of the video. I will point out that some previous starters, Sceptile, Swampert, and Blaziken, are available, which is awesome. And if you want their starter, the base level evolution, you can get that through transferring it in from previous games or catching one of these and breeding it. But that's pretty notable that those are in there. And then moving on, let's actually go hit up the list of legendary Pokemon that are found within the Dynamax raid dens. The Dynamax adventure layer. So here it is, list of final boss Pokemon. So there's Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres. You can get the original Kanto birds. Mewtwo, Raikou, Entei, Suicune, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Latias, Latios, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Heatran, Palkia, Dialga, Azelf, Mesprit, Uxie, Giratina, Cresselia, Tornadus, Thundurus, Reshiram, Zekrom, Landorus, Kyurem, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Fini, Solgaleo, Lunala, Nihilego, Buzzwole, Pheromosa, Xurkitree, Celesteela, Kartana, Guzzlord, Blacephalon, Stakataka, and Necrozma. Woo! That's a hefty list of available shinies. Every single one of these are available to obtain as a shiny within Dynamax Adventures. And when you encounter it and catch it, you will have a 1 in 100 chance of yours being shiny. That is awesome. I'll probably be focusing on the Tapus to begin with. I already have shiny Tapu Koko. Definitely want a shiny Tapu Lele and a Tapu Fini. But there's some amazing Pokemon on this list. Now, some Pokemon are shiny locked. Let's talk about that real quick. Serebii also has an amazing list of the Pokemon that are shiny locked. I'll put this link down in the description as well. Pokemon that cannot be shiny in the Crown Tundra or in Sword and Shield in general are Cosmog, Poipole, Keldeo, Victini, Articuno, Zapdos, Moltres, Glastrier, Spectrier, and Calyrex. Now, it's very interesting to me that they chose to make Poipole non-shiny. It's shiny locked within Sword and Shield, but it's not shiny locked. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I am pretty sure that Poipole is not shiny locked in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. I believe you could obtain shiny Poipole in those games. So you could transfer one in and have it be legit. So I'm not sure why they decided to shiny lock Poipole. Cosmog, kind of the same deal. Why would you shiny lock Cosmog when we can get shiny Solgaleo and Lunala? I'm not sure what the logic was there, but there is your list of shiny locked Pokemon. Now, you might be wondering, Hypnotic, how do I hunt a specific legendary? Obviously, when you go into the Dynamax Adventures, the scientist there that's at the gateway of the lair asks you if you want to go on a Dynamax adventure. You say yes, and then there's a random legendary at the end. Maybe I want to hunt a specific one, a Tapu Koko, let's say, and I don't want to just keep running into random ones. I want to keep getting Tapu Koko encounters until I finally get my shiny. You can do that. It's going to take a little bit of grinding at first, but you can eventually build up your list of basically raid paths so that you can select legendaries at will. Now, the way this works is when you finally encounter a legendary, let's say I go through, a Dynamax adventure and I encounter Kyurem at the end, right? Whether I catch it or not, at the very end of the Dynamax adventure, you come back out to the front of the den, and the scientist will save that legendary's path. So the next time you go to do a Dynamax adventure, she'll ask you, do you want to go for a random one, or do you want to go for one you've already seen? You'll be able to see a list of the ones that you've already completed, and you can just select it again. So as long as you've encountered it one time before, then you can repeat that legendary raid path at will. Along those lines, I will also say you need to make sure that you are talking to Peonia as much as possible. I have discovered that if you go talk to Peonia, she'll offer you a raid path. She'll say something to the effect of, hey, here's this specific legendary, right? I will sell you this path for 5 Dynite Ore. And you can buy the path for 5 Dynite Ore, and then you will have that one in your list, but it's random every single time she picks one. Right? I have found that if you walk away from Peonia, let's say she offers you a Lugia path and you say, no, I don't want to buy it. And then you come back, she won't offer it to you again. It'll be gone. She will not reset until you go on another Dynamax adventure and come back. Once you go do a new adventure and come back, that kind of resets Peonia, and she'll pick another random legendary to offer you a raid path. So keep checking with her to see if she sells you the raid path that you're looking for specifically for whichever legendary you want. Like I said, all you have to do is at least encounter it randomly once, or have her randomly reroll and regenerate a raid path that you can buy for 5 Dynite Ore. All right, so to recap, we technically have 1 in 25 odds of getting a shiny on every Dynamax adventure we do. That's awesome. It's not as broken as it seems at first glance. Yes, those odds seem ridiculous, but at the same time, a Dynamax adventure usually takes around 20 minutes or so, so it's still a grind. Great odds, but you still have to grind. So I kind of like the balance there. Really, honestly, I feel like this is finally, like, they gave us a signature shiny hunting method for Sword and Shield. We didn't really have one, right? Gen 7 had the Ultra Wormholes, and previous generations had other like signature shiny hunting methods. And I feel like this is the shiny hunting method that is the signature now for Sword and Shield. On a side note, I will say it's a great idea to stock up on a bunch of different types of Pokeballs before you go on Dynamax raid adventures. I've already experienced this once myself. I went through a raid adventure, and actually, this is a good point. I ran into an Alolan Marowak, which previously you couldn't shiny hunt in at least not in Sword and Shield, but now it's in the Dynamax raid adventures. I encountered one. I wanted to catch it in a luxury ball just in case it was shiny. I thought it would look cool in a luxury ball, but I didn't have any luxury balls in my inventory. So I would think ahead, stock up on as many different Pokeballs as you can. That way, if you run into a certain Pokemon and you're like, oh man, if this is shiny, it would look cool in this ball, you have it in your back pocket. So tips and tricks from good old Hypnotic. I think that about covers it. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, pop them down in the comments below. I will answer as many of them as I can. Let me know what you think about this new method. I actually kind of like it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to doing a lot of Dynamax adventures with all of you guys. But that's going to wrap up this video. Until next time, y'all know the deal. Always wash your hands when you want to eat, but always keep them dirty enough to see where you come from. You feel me? I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.